Stump Station episode 30, and we're in Jeddah interviewing some amazing people. And today's guest is helping people rediscover themselves with health, movement, and most importantly, strength, helping people online and in person. Dr. Baraa, welcome.
Hi, welcome.
And I think we have recorded a podcast prior to the podcast, the amount we've been speaking.
Oh, yeah.
But anyone that doesn't know you, who are you?
So I'm Baraa. I'm a professor actually at the university. And part-time, I'm a trainer and specifically injury rehabilitation. So I help people after they finish from their physio. They're like, what do we do now? How do we get stronger muscles? We're stuck. I'm like, come to me, I'll help you. I'll help you go back to living pain-free.
Even though you said part-time, that you post, this is what you post online. This is what all your content is about, is truly helping people. And where did that journey start? Because it's not a full-time thing. So where did that journey start on health and just rehab and helping people?
Do you want the social media journey or the whole entire journey?
Okay, we only have a podcast, so which one is better?
All right, I'll make my personal journey very short.
Yes.
So I was always obese, even as a child. I was always picked on, bullied, even from like people around me, you need to lose weight. And it was all about aesthetics. So I'm like, sure. But then at one point I was in the US and I went to a doctor. We were doing random tests. And then he was saying, by this rate, like you have a 70-year-old body. By this rate, in 2 years, 3 years, you're gonna get cholesterol, diabetes, and you're gonna suffer a lot. So that's when it's like, oh wow, nobody has ever put it this way to me. I'm like, now it makes sense. So that's when my journey started. Of course, my journey had ups and downs, just like everyone else. During that journey, I fell in love with fitness, and it really changed and shaped how I looked at things, because fitness is what kept me going. Fitness is what fixed my food. It's what fixed my sleep.
Yeah.
It's what made me consistent. Down the road, fast forward 10 years later, when I moved back to Saudi, what I found was I was thrown into this class. So I have had my certification since 2015, but I never did anything with it, my personal training certification. But right after COVID, I was in a studio and they're like, oh my God, we need someone to cover the class. Please cover the class. I'm like, huh? What? And I kept renewing my license all these years, but I never did anything with it. I'm like, sure, let me try. So I gave the class and everybody was like, wow, you're such a great trainer. I'm like, really? It was a good class? So I'm like, why not just do it part-time? So I realized there was a trend, like people come in with low back pain, knee pain, shoulder pain, neck pain. And I'm like, no, I really need to get educated in this. So what I did was I got another master's in injury rehabilitation and sports medicine. And that's where I went into injuries.
And was that just because so many people came in with some issue? You were like, I need to educate myself to just truly help people with this.
Yes, because that was my goal. The only reason I did what I did to become a trainer was to help people.
And I think all of us start because we love helping people and we get really into wanting to help people achieve a goal, or in your case, help people rehab properly. And how long has it been now since you've been really educated and most importantly, coaching people part-time?
It's been 5 years now, going into 6.
And where can people come see you?
So I do mainly personal things in a personal studio. I don't have the time or the capacity, unfortunately, because I teach. But I do, we just recently launched an online program, me and my sister. My sister also is a doctor of physical therapy for low back pain. So we're trying to work on this online platform to reach people more and help people more, because we're both very tight on time.
I think this is great because this is what we do. I think online is the way in terms of reaching more people when you have limited time. And let's be honest, it's 2026 where everything's online. But you said specifically back pain. Why?
Well, because as you see now, sedentary lifestyle, how many hours a day do you sit?
A lot.
Exactly. It's like people sit, go to work, they're in the car for a long time. They go to their office, they're sitting on their desks for a very long time. They go home and they still sit. So they stop moving. So a lot of issues happen is when they start developing, their core becomes very weak, and then they start developing low back pain. And they think that it's something that's chronic and not solvable, but it is. You can solve this pain. You can get rid of it.
You said there it's a core issue?
Yes.
So What is it? What do you do with people? Okay, I'm not going to say give us the full program.
Okay.
But when people have lower back pain because of that sedentary lifestyle,
Yep.
do you mainly focus on flexibility, activation? All these words might not be understanding to people, but what is it you kind of focus on for these types of people?
It has to be a holistic program. It's not a one size fits thing. It's not like I do strength and then it's going to get better. We need to focus on more than one aspect because, I mean, you're a trainer, you understand muscles, dynamics of movement. So we need to work on flexibility, mobility, strength, stability, control.
And your program that it's out now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you do have lower back pain, obviously check it out.
Yeah.
If you want to solve it for sure. And with that being said, is that on this program, is it very individualized to the person that maybe suffering with the issue?
It's very basic. So it's like level 1. We're working on 3 different levels. So it's level 1. It's very basic. It actually teaches your body how to move again.
Oh, nice.
Because a lot of people, I don't know if you've noticed this, like when they squat, when they lunge, you can see that their core is not even braced. It's not even tight. Like they do small, tiny movements where you know it's not moving right. And you know that this little movement, over time, their QL is just gonna go, ugh, it's gonna spasm up. So this is where all the problems happen. So we work, it's very basic. It teaches you how to brace, activate, breathe properly, how to brace yourself, breathe, and work out. So it only requires bands, like a small lacrosse ball, so we can release, because we do a lot of releasing as well in the program. And it's, anyone can do it.
I love that. And let's say, for example, this is a great example because I'm going to use a good friend of mine. He's like 6'4", extremely tall. He keeps getting a lot of lower back pain, even though he has an active job, but he's not like exercising as much. It's constant. Obviously, when he goes to bed, it gets worse. Where would he have to even begin?
So he's going to have to begin with, like people like this, I usually suggest go to physiotherapy first.
Yeah.
So your first step is always physiotherapy. I have nothing against orthopedics, but because what they do is they end up doing MRIs and then people end up seeing the imaging and saying, oh my God, I have L4, L5. And in the end, the treatment is still the same. So even if you have a disc issue and it's not that bad, the treatment is still the same. You're going to go through physio first, and then you're going to have to rehab. So I always suggest them going to physiotherapy because they have the techniques to either release your muscle faster with dry needling, cupping. They can use techniques like shockwave, but they're saying, like recent research is saying it's not that relevant anymore.
Yeah.
After they do that part, then they start giving you basic exercises like bridges, bird dogs. Then you can go into like doing what we do, like the bridge between physio and exercise, like the programs that we release. It's that rehabilitation bridge. When you start there, you start getting stronger week by week by week. You start feeling your body having less pain. But the key is to be consistent.
I think that's a big thing in fitness in general, right? Because let's say, for example, just the guy I'm saying, but anyone, you may get lower back pain, you do the exercise, it goes away. As soon as you stop, it probably will come back.
Exactly.
You need to make it a lifestyle and commitment to do it. And it's not going to go away overnight. It's going to come back if you stop. And this is what people need to realize with ongoing, say, chronic injuries, even if they're small. And what is a myth that you kind of see on social media? Because you wanted to post on social media, you wanted to help people here. What is a myth you see on social media with pain and recovery or even rehab that you disagree with?
When I started my social media account, it was because most of the good information from good influencers was all in English. There wasn't a lot of Arabic available. And even the Arabic that was available, it was, sorry for the word, it was just a bunch of like, what?
It was
What?
terrible.
No,
Yeah.
it's like, I remember this guy saying, and he's the guy that ticked me off. He's like, women shouldn't do shoulder presses.
Really?
Yes, and women shouldn't, I think it was shoulder press, and women shouldn't work out their chest muscles, and women shouldn't lift more than I don't know how many kg. I'm like, what? What?
And he was saying it in Arabic?
Yes. And surprisingly, he's one of the big influencers in the field. So I'm like, no.
Why was he saying this? What was his reason behind that?
You're going to get broader shoulders. I've been doing shoulder presses for 10 years and I don't have broad shoulders.
I think as well, people need to realize this in general. Let's say you've got a man and a woman, same height, same weight. They've just started the gym. They could do the same exercise regime, same reps, same sets, different weights because they're strength. But let's say they progress their weights at the same time. Your bodies will still look completely different.
Of course.
You know,
because
and
of the
then-
testosterone.
Yeah.
Like I'll give you the smallest example. My husband.
Yeah.
My husband, if he does just strength training for 1 week, you see the pump. I'm like, I hate you.
Yeah.
I hate
I'm
you.
so jealous.
It's the testosterone. And this is what I keep telling women. This is what these are also one of the myths that I saw on social media. It's like women trainers would tell women, don't lift heavy because you're going to end up having really big muscles. Don't do deadlifts because you're going to end up herniating your disc. Don't squat because you're going to end up having knee arthritis. I'm like, if I'm not going to squat, then how am I going to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, true.
Doesn't make sense. How am I going to eat? How am I going to sit at the dining table? How am I going to sit on my couch if I'm not squatting? If I'm not deadlifting, how am I supposed to pick up something?
How are you supposed to pray?
Exactly.
You know?
And I'm like, a deadlift is ruku'
Yeah.
in prayer. So I'm like, it's just with weights.
Yeah.
So the issue is not deadlifting heavy. It's not progressing properly.
Yeah. And like, let's just take that example, right? When you're praying, you have to have a good posture,
Exactly.
right? Otherwise your back will hurt.
Exactly.
It's the same thing as a deadlift.
Exactly. And I tell them, like, if your hamstrings are not at a certain length, then you cannot pray in a certain way. If you don't have toe mobility, ankle mobility, knee mobility, and knee stability, you won't be able to pray properly.
One thing I have found when I came to Saudi talking about praying is that I found that men and women are much more mobile and flexible compared to people in the Western world. They have less coordination and core activation.
Yeah.
Because of two things. I think one, because of prayer, they have that flexibility and mobility. But because of lack of sports at a young age, which wasn't here 10 years ago, that's the difference. Whereas back home, they don't pray the same, but they were doing sports. So I think that's the biggest difference here. And I think that could even cause more joint pain later on because they didn't have that coordination in their body. And especially now with that sedentary lifestyle, it's going to cause a lot of lower back pain.
The problem with this, the coordination that you're talking about, when we age, we start losing that coordination naturally. So with women, because us as women, like from my generation, we never had sports in school unless you were lucky and you were in a private school that did sports once a week and that was it. So we never like did sports back in the day. So a lot of us don't have that coordination. Now with age, people my age right now, they don't have the coordination. And this is something that I teach them from the basics. Why? Because as we grow older, we start losing this coordination and we're more prone to falls. And women, you know, women are more prone to falling because of osteoporosis and because when we start going through perimenopause, menopause and all of that, so we're prone to falling and it's really important that we can coordinate.
And I think as well, just because of that, it's more important that you do strength training as a result. And I would even say, well, I think it's important for everyone, but I would say strength training is more important for women than it is for men. Not just because of that, but also being able to carry a baby, right? Just that as an example. You're going to get a lot less joint pain when you're pregnant if you've done strength training and continue even when you're pregnant at lighter weights, obviously, depending on the time, will make such a difference to you compared to men. Men can get away with a little bit more because like you said, because of testosterone, they get a bit stronger quicker, all these things. So women definitely, halas, you have to be doing some sort of weights and stop listening to the rubbish on social media.
Exactly. Stop listening to the rubbish and start lifting heavy. Stop doing 1 kg and 2 kgs.
And usually you say people like women go to the gym because they want to look a certain way. And that's what kind of made you not want to go. And you wanted to go because of the health issues and you transformed your life massively, which is truly incredible. And what advice would you give to women out there that are just going for aesthetics, and chasing that rather than really focused on their health and maybe training in a bit of a different way?
So I used to chase aesthetics. It never really got me anywhere because what happens is I end up in a loop. So I start something. If I see the scale starting to drop and I can see the difference in my body, I'm excited, I'm happy, and I keep going. Once I stop seeing the progress, I get depressed and I stop everything. So it's an all or nothing approach. Once I started thinking of health and lifestyle, and I'm like, aesthetics will come. Just don't worry about it. Like, I haven't gotten on a scale in 3 years. I don't know how much I weigh. Honestly, I don't
I
know
love
how much
that.
weight. The way I measure myself is through my clothes and through, I just take like certain measurements. But I can see myself in the mirror. Like
Yeah.
I can see it. I can see when I lift something. I can see that my stamina is better. I can see my endurance is better when I go running. So I can feel the difference in my body. So if you chase aesthetics and worry about the number on the scale, you're just going to end up in the same loop over and over and over again. Aesthetics will come.
And I think we just live in a day and an age where people don't have the patience. So we just want that aesthetic look. Hey, I want to sign up to a gym for 3 months and I just want to look like this on social media.
Yeah.
It's not how it works. And also no one looks like that because that's a different lighting, that's certain angles, that's editing. And that guy or girl that is posting that video or picture only looks like that for that video or picture.
Not even that. Even for that, like these people, how long have you worked on your body?
It sounds really weird, but I've never actually never trained for a look, which is very
but
weird.
you've
I've
been working out.
Yeah, I've been working out for 14, 15 years.
See? So when they see someone on social media, they only see 30 seconds of their life, thinking like, I can be like that in 2 months. No, this person has been working on him or herself for 15 years, for 10 years, for 5 years. So it takes time.
And I think as well, we just live in a day and an age where instant gratification is always there. You know, we pick up our phone and we can get anything whenever we want, basically. It's going to come to our door as well. So you don't even need to move. And we think that now, especially with a lot of things out there that can enhance weight loss, like Ozempic, Mounjaro, all these trends of peptides. There's so much nowadays that's making it easier. And I think it has its place in serious situations, but people were going to take that route a lot more if they're just trying to get that.
I'm not
outcome.
against it. Like I was never against surgery or taking something to help you. But in the end, even if you do surgery or you take peptides or you take whatever, you're still gonna have to change your lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's still, the lifestyle change is still there because even if you take this, or people who did the surgery and lost weight, after 5 years, what happened?
They normally gain it back.
They gain it back. People who took, let's say, Mounjaro and lost the weight and stopped Mounjaro, what happened?
They normally gain it back.
They gained it back. So if you're gonna use it as a tool to help you, fine, but change your lifestyle.
Yeah.
You have to change your lifestyle.
I agree. And I used to be very much against these things until it's like, sometimes people need that boost of motivation. And once they get there, they can continue. But not everyone's like that. So it kind of ruins it for those people that are doing it just for that. So let's say the 20% or 10% of people that need that little boost and they can make a lifestyle out of it. Great.
That's why I always tell them, if you're gonna do it under a supervision of a doctor, because your doctor is gonna push you for that lifestyle change.
Yeah, true. And let's say, for example, I know we've gone into more of the pills, but let's say that example of, say, Mounjaro, going with a smaller dose for like 1 month, 2 months, and not increasing it. Because many people just slowly increase and get the biggest dose, get the biggest results. Just going with a smaller dose for like 2 months to get some results and build momentum,
Yes.
I think that's okay.
I think so too. And plus, if they go fast, they're gonna lose a lot of muscle.
Yes, that's true.
So you don't want to lose muscle because the more muscle you have, the more you burn. So it's going to help you.
And there was also studies that talk about even decreasing bone density when you take higher doses for long periods of time.
Yes.
And that's irreversible. You can't
true.
change your bones again,
That's
you know?
true. That's
Which
true, yes.
is the harmful factor. This is what made me more against it. But then when you look at someone that truly needs that confidence boost to the momentum, I love it. And I think just starting anything is so key. So for anyone out there that wants to, let's say they're super busy, you know, because everyone has no time these days. How can they really start a routine and a lifestyle?
So the way I do it, even on social media, is I try to simplify fitness. My goal is to have people move mindfully. This is my goal because right now people are moving like robots.
Yes.
They're not moving mindfully anymore. So I try to simplify it and I say, okay, you don't have time. You don't know where to start. Start with simple things like opening up your joints, doing like arm circles, hip circles. Start by that. Start putting it like, let's say after Fajr prayer or after, and I always tell them, I love the idea of habit stacking. I learned this from the book Atomic Habits.
One of the best books ever.
It's the idea of habit stacking is one of the best things you can do because like I always tell them tie it to prayer times. So after Fajr, after Dhuhr prayer, say, I'm going to do 10 cat-cows. Just start with mobility. Start moving your joints again. Start let your spine feel that it can move. Yay, I'm here, I can move. So once you start doing that, and I'm like, stick to it. Again, don't focus on aesthetics, just stick to that.
Yeah.
From there, we can start building habits.
I agree, and I love that. I gave an example to a client as well. Not even a client, someone I was on a call, and they go, "I have no time to do any exercise." My example was, if I said to you, "Can you do 1 push-up a day?" They laugh, and I'm like, "Well, yeah. So what is the number that you can do, which is the minimum requirement?" Yes. So is it 10? Is it 20? Is it 1,000? Obviously not. But where is that minimal requirement? And it's pointless. Well, it's not, because it gets you starting. So how can you find 30 seconds a day to do 1 push-up, 1 squat, 1 sit-up? And people are like, "Oh, that's easy." Okay, if that's easy, what's a little bit challenging? And go from there. I know I was just giving like different examples, but people need to realize that consistency of just being like, okay, every day at 5 a.m., right? Before I get ready for work, I'm gonna do 1 of everything. And it will take 10 seconds. Cool, build that up. And
that consistency builds discipline.
yeah.
And this is what everybody needs is discipline.
But people think as well, let's say the same thing, even with injuries, people think, well, there's no point doing it once. Like, what's the point? Because it's not really gonna get me where I want. It's not. But I would rather you do something once for a week, and if it's easy, make it progressively harder.
Yes,
or
exactly.
challenge yourself. And I think that's what people need to realize is that lifestyle we need to look at. Not, let's go to the gym for 90 minutes, 6 days a week for a month, and then I've got a project at work, so I'm gonna quit.
This is the problem, what I tell everybody. Don't start crazy. Like if you can, like I'll give you an example. My sister, she has a 9-to-5 job. She has a family. She's raising a family. She works really far away from where she lives. What she did was she tried to work out during the week. She tried. She was struggling. She's like, I'm just tired. I'm exhausted. So she met this trainer. She's like, "You know what? Can you do Friday, Saturday?" She's like, "I can." She's like, "Let's do Friday, Saturday mornings. You come and you work out." And now she's been consistent for like 3 months now, and she can feel the difference in her body. I'm like, twice a week is better than 0.
And that's so true. And I know we've gone more into just building that consistency up as well, but I think it's so important that any sort of outcome you want to have in life in general, let's go completely off topic. Let's say you want to be a millionaire. You have to become a different person to achieve that.
Exactly.
Same as wanting the body you want. Same as anything. So that's a lifestyle change. And anything you want now for just whatever reason, to impress someone you don't care about, for social media, for the beach body, for like one person, it will go away. So what are you really doing this for? And I think that's the real question that everyone needs to ask themselves is, stop trying to look good for your wedding. Stop trying to impress the people that, let's be honest, don't care. Because a lot of people, and this is I'm going to say men and women, but a lot of women do come and they do this a lot. I want to look good because I'm getting married. I need to look good for my husband. He's going to see me for the first time. I need to look amazing. I'll be honest with you, like, it doesn't matter. Because in a year's time, that's the person you're going to be again. So you have a choice. Do you want to be true to yourself from the beginning? Or do you want to be that person forever?
So here, Liam, is where I tell them where self-love comes in. Do you truly love yourself? Because if you don't love yourself, you're not going to give your body what it needs. If you don't love yourself, you're not going to move. If you don't love yourself, you're just going to go eat junk food. It's self-love. And this is something I learned when I was going through therapy, because during my weight loss journey, I had to go through therapy because I felt like, who am I? What do I want? Why am I like this? Am I an emotional eater? Every time I get anxious, nervous, upset, happy, angry, I go eat? Yes, I do. Then I have an issue.
Okay.
I started going to therapy, and that's when I learned that I'm not enough. This is what I used to feel subconsciously. I'm not enough. I don't deserve love. I don't deserve to love myself. And that's why I used to eat. And
that was, quote, your love, right? And how did you get over that? Because there's many people that may feel the same.
Therapy?
Yeah.
Therapy is really important because I used to run away from my emotions and feelings because I felt like they weren't relevant. It's probably the household. It's a cultural thing where, like, if you express and you say, I'm angry, so what? You're 5. Get over it.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how it works in the UK, but like here it's like, you're 5.
Yeah.
You're not entitled to have any emotions. You're 5 and you're 10, and so what? You don't have an opinion. You're 10. So it was probably from like culture. That's one thing. The other thing was like, I never felt like I processed how I felt through a lot of things. Like if I'm anxious, I would just suppress, 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 and just move on. And then I focused a lot on achievements. That has nothing to do with like how I looked or fitness or anything. Achievements for like my education, achievements for my job. It's like achievement, and I became addicted to achievements to fulfill the feeling like I am worthy. But then I realized, like, I just looked at myself and I'm like, you can't even walk 2 steps up the stairs and you're like, how are you worthy? How are you worthy? Then the shift started to happen.
And mentally, how did you start changing? Because that's very tough to be like, I'm not worthy of anything, I'm not good enough. Saying this negative talk to, I am good enough. How did you make those steps?
So it was through CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. That's what my therapist and I worked on. We did a lot of weekly assignments, weekly homeworks, weekly check-ins. Sometimes I would go like, I don't want to do this session anymore. It's too exhausting for me. She's like, why is it exhausting? I'm like, I don't know. You ask too many questions. Or I would walk in one day. I'm like, I don't want to talk. She's like, okay, don't talk. I'll talk. And it's a struggle. Like, it's a struggle. But in the end, you have a lot of self-awareness. You understand yourself a lot because from what I've seen, training people, a lot of people don't understand themselves. If you ask him or her, what do you want from life? Or what is marriage to you? Or what does it mean to have kids? What does it mean to be a mother? What does it mean to be a father? They don't have an answer. They don't know.
Why do you think a lot of people don't think like that?
I don't think we were ever challenged enough to critically think and put these things like from a very young age. Like these are things we should talk with our kids about. We should have like a nice, free, open conversation with our kids.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like society is like, oh, if you talk to your dad this way, it's disrespectful. Although it has nothing to do with respect. Like there's a misconception about this. It has nothing to do with respect. It's just cultural. But kids from a very young age should understand, like, they need to understand these things. Like, I remember one thing my therapist told me. I know we're going a lot off topic, but
I love it. Yeah.
But I remember she told me one thing. She's like, even if you're married, every few years you have to check in with each other because you as individuals grow. You grow separately. But then you have to check in with each other every few years and ask each other, what is marriage to you? Where do you see yourself 3 years from now? Where do you see our marriage 5 years from now? To make sure you're growing together. Because if you don't know that, if you're not sure if your spouse is growing with you or my husband's growing with me, then you're going to reach a point where the marriage breaks. And that's where it says, oh, it's the 5 and 10 year mark where a lot of people get a divorce. No, but if there's open and honest communication and you check in with each other, no, then you understand like, oh, are we on the same page or not? So that's a very important tip.
And I think I'll take that on board. Getting married this year, so I think it's important. I think as well that's so true with any like relationship, like with partners. This is why a lot of people, not just here, like you said, marriage, but Western world is like people will break up after those times because you are a different person, and if you don't grow together, like you said, you will break up. And I think that's the hardest thing is because we're so in the zone of once you're married, some people are like, halas, I'm good. I can relax now in life. Some people are like, I need to continue to develop myself. And then there's that separation. And there's nothing wrong with the people. It's just now they're not the same people that connected before. And you really deliver this mental and physical well-being on social media. But how do you really get that balance of helping people mentally, physically, and putting all this together?
Through my training sessions, what we do is they think they're going to come for like an intense, crazy workout. Sometimes I have something planned, but when she walks in, I read her and I'm like, no, what are we doing? Then what are we doing today? I'm like, we're doing breathing exercises. She's like, why? I'm like, you'll know why in a bit. So we would start with breathing exercises, and then we would start with a little bit of mobility work, and then we might do a yoga session instead of just doing a regular strength session. Or I might mix and match. And then she's like, oh no, now I understand why you did it. She's like, oh my God, I feel so much better because I can see how anxious she is and how stressed she is. So we need to find that balance for ourselves. So people who don't come to me, what are they going to do? So what you want to do is you want to work on breathing exercises. You don't have to do like crazy 1 hour monk type of breathing. Like, I don't think I can sit and do a monk type of breathing. I think I'll get dizzy. But at least give yourselves 10 deep breaths a day. And don't do shallow breathing. Don't breathe from here. People don't breathe from their diaphragm. You need to breathe from your diaphragm. This is shallow breathing. Getting your belly up and back, that's diaphragm breathing. So 10 nice deep breaths of diaphragm breathing. This is something you can do. It will help reduce stress, reduce cortisol. If you're anxious, it's going to reduce anxiety. So this is something you can do for yourself mentally. You can always journal. I always tell my clients to journal. Write whatever you want. If you don't want to write it on paper, I prefer paper and pen. Always, always. I'm like, there's this weird connection between the pen, paper, and your brain.
Yeah.
But if you don't prefer that, you can always use voice notes. Like, you have a nice voice note app on your phone.
Yeah.
Open that and just talk.
Yeah.
Just talk. Journaling helps. So certain specific techniques helps people like find that mind-body connection and that mind-body balance.
And I think as well that if we don't express feelings, even just to a journal, to a voice note, they explode in some other way. And that is probably affecting something. So I'm a big believer in, physical and mental health being very much connected. And if you are struggling mentally and you don't exercise, go and exercise is going to help release a little bit, whatever that may be. That doesn't need to be a high intensity workout or something. And if you do exercise, maybe writing things out and getting things out in a different way is the next step. Because I believe that if you keep everything in, you don't understand it, and then it takes it out on someone that definitely doesn't understand it. So when it comes to what you teach and how you coach, how can you really judge? Like you said, you just saw someone and we're going to change it. How do you judge that?
So I wouldn't know from the first, let's say, month with her being my client. But as we build like this nice rapport together and she starts telling me about her life, I understand how her lifestyle is. I understand how much stress she has at home from her job, kids, family, social obligations. So I kind of get that whole holistic picture of her life. And then, okay, so what do you do? And then I ask questions like, what do you do when you feel anxious? What do you do if one of your kids kept nagging, mom, 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 mom? What do you do? How do you react? Just like random questions to understand how she takes care of things. From that, I understand like, all right. And when she comes in, are you tired today? She's like, yes, I didn't sleep well. From that, I start understanding them more. When
it comes to these people, right? Like, your clients, hence why you said you can't take any more on. Because I feel like you want to know your clients very well. And I think as a coach, people probably wouldn't want to leave you because you're more than just a physical coach. You're a little bit of a therapist as well. And you're also that person that truly understands them way more than they know themselves sometimes. And is it a lot harder?
It is, because then what happens is it's like, so I have all these clients and then she tells me her problems, she tells me her problems, he tells me his problems, and then it's like I'm receiving all of this at this, and I'm very empathetic and I like absorb their energy and all that. So, and then me, it's like, oh, why am I exhausted today? And then I realized like this whole dose of negative energy just came in this morning. Like, okay, now I need to like release. That's why I had to limit the number of my clients, because I love building this relationship with them and I love having and seeing the progress. I don't want to work with someone 1 month, 2 months who comes in and says, oh, I'm getting married, get me skinny in 3 months. If someone messages me and tells me that, I'm like, sorry, I'm the wrong trainer for you. I'm not the right trainer for you. You can go find someone else.
I say it as well to people. We get on a call with people and I say, hey, look, we say minimum 6 months working with us because we want to actually change your habits and your lifestyle.
Exactly.
By that time, if you want to continue, fine, but you should be okay to continue on your own. But I don't want to work with you if you're doing this just for a physical outcome. I want to do this if you want that outcome, and that's great, but you actually want to change who you are in the meantime. And you want something long-term. And you're not going to just quit the gym if you don't, or you're going to quit whatever, the way you eat and everything. I want to teach you that the way you eat, the way you move, and who you are is now going to change. But you've got to accept that, not just looking good for a little thing.
Yes. And basically I do the same idea, But I don't say commitment of 6 months, but I say this is a long-term commitment. I don't work with people who have short-term goals.
Yeah.
Full stop.
That's true. And I think as well, like as a client or anyone out there likes that because they're like, okay, this person actually cares a little bit more. They're not just like, hey, give me money. Let's do 12 PT sessions, 16, 32, whatever. And then we're done.
Yeah.
And it is tough because some people are up and down and up and down. And if they want to be with you longer, does that happen in terms of people can be inconsistent, but they still want to stay with you?
Yes, I do have that.
Yeah. Okay.
But for example, she would travel for a month, come back. Life happens and then comes back. So I tell her if life happens, just try to keep moving. Don't stop moving. Don't stop the habits that you spent the past year building. So if you worked out 3 times a week, at least do something at home for 20 minutes. Don't stop the habit. That's it. That's
very true. And I think as well, when you try and help people like that, like we always say the same thing, when you travel, tell us, we'll give you something to do. Even like I said, the one push-up. It's something, right?
Yeah.
But like with you and what you post on social media, obviously ChatGPT helped a lot with translation, but what's your goal there? What are you trying to achieve with help people online different to in person?
So I'm trying to make information accessible and free to all, that they can do whatever they want with it, see if it's suitable for them or not. I'm trying to simplify movement because I know, and I've seen this in women's society, like women who reach a certain age in our culture feel like she can't move anymore. And if I tell you her age, you'll be, well, she's young. Like a woman in her 50s, 60s, she's young.
Yeah, she is.
Then why are you on the couch and you can't move?
Yeah.
So I want to give them something simple that they can do. At least it gets blood flowing. At least it makes their mental well-being better, especially that she's going through perimenopause, menopause, through that era. And that's a different whole nother realm.
Yeah.
So movement is going to make you, like you said, physical activity will help your mental health. So that's my goal in social media. And then plus, because I studied injury rehabilitation, I want to give them tools that they have in their hands. Like, all right, so my neck hurts today. What can I do? I woke up this morning. Oh, I feel like my hips are tight. What can I do? I try to simplify things that you can do as soon as you wake up in bed. Like you don't have to even get out of bed and you can just start moving while you're in bed. So as simple as that.
And I think that's great for anyone that is starting and just need to get moving a little bit, right? For especially like you said, if quote, they will just want to be in bed and do something,
Yes.
if it's that easy. And have you ever had a goal on social media? Because you've grown quite well, you've got a following, clearly a loyal following, but has there ever been a goal of trying to grow or being like, oh, I want to be quote, Instagram famous and help more people? Was it ever like that?
So what I wanted, my goal was, I want to reach as many people as I can. That's what I want to be, either on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or whatever. I have like all 4 platforms open publicly, Snapchat and YouTube. So I'm trying to reach as many people as possible because I have people that write comments from Algeria, from Iraq, from Morocco. And some of them are like, thank you so much for this workout. It did wonders for me. This is my goal. I don't care how many followings because I look at it per video and how it's performing. All right, so this video has a nice reach. I'm gonna keep going.
And what is your biggest platform, by the way?
My biggest platform?
Yeah, the biggest one.
TikTok.
It's TikTok, okay.
Yeah, I have around 380,000.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
obviously I saw Instagram.
Yeah.
But I use the same thing. TikTok, I think, as well, is a place where you can grow, but I think you connect more on Instagram.
True.
Like I have 150 on TikTok and then nearly 20 on Instagram, but the people on Instagram are the same people that want and see more.
That's the problem with the algorithm of the platform because TikTok pushes your videos, your content to the For You page.
Yeah.
Instagram pushes it to your followers.
Yeah, true.
So that's why you feel you have that connection because the same person comments, oh, thank you, Liam, or thank you, Baraa, for doing this. It's the same people that interact with you. That's why you feel there's a nicer connection. I prefer Instagram. Personally, I prefer Instagram.
I like that connection a lot more, right?
Me too.
And I know that you've done it with people in person, social media and everything, but anyone that does get a lot of joint pain, all right? Let's say someone brand new, what can they really do? Let's go with that example. Many people suffer with back pain. What could they do right now, watching or listening, to make things a little bit better without having to come to see you, without go into rehab. Let's say it's not an injury, but it's a little niggle that keeps happening. What can they do?
Move. So what they need to do is, because of sitting lifestyle, a lot of muscles are tight, a lot of muscles are short, a lot of muscles are lengthened. So what they do is, with low back pain, it's all about the hip and core complex. So they have a lot of, like, their hip flexors are super tight, their quads are super short, their hamstrings are tight. So you can just do a nice yoga session, for example. It's gonna relieve the pain. So doing a few, like, if they just go on YouTube and say 10-minute yoga for low back pain, it's gonna do wonders for them.
I agree. And I think as well, people want the give me something now to strengthen it, feel good instantly, right? But I do agree. I think stretching is number one. And then some exercises that I've given people is normally lack of activation in the glutes, lack of activation in the core. And that's where people should really be. When I say activation, I don't mean guys lifting weights. I mean like glute bridges. I mean like holds. That's going to help a bit. But mainly, get rid of the tightness first and then go there. And I think this is a nice step for anyone that has a little bit of issues, little niggles. If it gets really bad and it's continuous, obviously you go to rehab first and then
Yes.
go there.
If it gets really bad, I always suggest physio, because the physio will tell you, I need you for like 12 sessions or 6 sessions. And usually with low back pain, that's not that major. It's usually 6 sessions. But then the physio says, all right, you're done. But then you're stuck. You stop moving.
What are you supposed to do? Go straight to a heavy back squat? No.
No, exactly. No, you're supposed to start progressively working on getting stronger.
I know that your approach is very different and I love it. You go with this mental wellness and obviously physical health, but
Yes.
how to, like, not just coaching it, but how can people get a balance of both? Like, obviously they do strength training, maybe yoga, whatever, but what else should they be doing to really help with this?
So one thing is that going to a therapist is not a bad thing. So they really need to start accepting that. Like, going to a therapist doesn't mean I have some kind of psychological issue, or I'm going through depression, or I'm going through anxiety, or whatever it is. Going to a therapist or a life coach, but I prefer therapists. So going to a therapist is okay. It will help you actually find that nice balance. Like, to me, when I go to my therapist every week, actually she's online. So when I see my therapist every week, she gives me that nice positive push that makes me finish the entire week happily.
Yeah.
So go to a therapist. It's okay. It's okay if you do therapy.
So what if someone isn't comfortable with it? Like, don't get me wrong, I agree. I can
Yeah.
100% agree with you. But what if they're not going through a hard time or they don't feel like they are, but they want to make their mental wellness a little bit better? Is there anything that you've done that has helped you, which was advice that has helped?
Yeah. So basically, we're going to go back to the same methods.
Yeah.
Breathing, journaling, and yoga.
Okay.
Yoga really helped me a lot. It helped me a lot, especially when at that time when I got my yoga certification, I was diagnosed with depression. I was clinically depressed and I didn't know. I was actually a functioning depressed person. And I didn't know that. Until one day I woke up, it's like, I want to die. That's how I felt. So I did an emergency psychiatrist session. He started asking me all these questions, and then he's like, you know you are clinically depressed. I'm like, how is that possible? I'm functioning, I'm showering, I'm exercising, I'm doing all of this. It's like, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. So yoga really helped. Yoga really helps you stay grounded. People think it's like, oh my God, it's for flexible people. No.
Yeah.
No, it's for everyone. Yoga's for everyone.
And I do think that's kind of a therapy in itself in terms of like feeling more, it depends on obviously the yoga, but can make you feel a lot more relaxed. Because especially beginners, I think it's a lot of breathing, it's a lot of just light movement, and it keeps you present and grounded. And I think that's what people kind of need, especially in the manic world we live in. I think that does truly help. And like, obviously, when it comes to stress, sleep, which is lacking in both, stress is super high, sleep is super bad. How can we improve things like that to help our mental health?
So what I personally, what I do is most of my notifications on my phone are off. That's one thing. Because I realized like it makes me anxious and it stresses me a lot. It's like ding, ding. I'm like, what's going on? So I get really annoyed. So I'm like, off. It's not the end of the world. Yoga helped me become more mindful. So people, yoga, and then it actually helped me become more mindful in my prayers. Because if you ask people now, like, okay, you prayed. Are you mindful during your prayer? They're like, what? Huh? They're thinking, they're praying and they're thinking, I need to do this. I need to write this email. I need to cook dinner. I need to do that. So they're not even mindful during prayer. And the whole concept of prayer is not just praying to God, but also to practice mindfulness, to be mobile, to work, to be in the present moment. So yoga helped me become a better Muslim. Surprisingly. Yeah. So this is one of the really important things is being mindful. You need to be mindful. It's like, Liam, what did you have like 2 hours ago for lunch? You're like, what? Especially if you're like eating on the go.
Yeah.
Meals should not be eaten at a desk. You should not be eating your meals while watching TV. You should sit at a dinner table or on the floor, whatever's comfortable for you, and mindfully eat your food.
Would you recommend, let's say, eating with your partner, having a discussion, would you say that is still being mindful? Would that still be beneficial?
Better than watching TV and eating at your desk.
Okay.
Yes.
This is a big habit for everyone. Now, I'm guilty as well. I'm not blaming everyone, but the worst habit that we all do and everyone does is watch dinner and watch something. Eat dinner, watch Netflix. And how can we really get out of that? Because people want to feel stimulated while eating.
I quit cold turkey. So what I did was one day I put down my lunch tray and I'm like, nope, no phone, no TV, nothing. You're just going to sit and you're going to eat and you're going to spend at least 20 minutes eating. I was like this. When am I going to finish this? Yeah. This is annoying. I can't do this anymore. But with practice, you teach your body to relax. You're not always on fight or flight all the time.
And I think as well, it was common when I was young, and I think it is common in the Middle East, in Arab households. Let's say Jummah. Jummah lunch is with a family, it's together. You're not around a TV, you know?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. At least you're talking, you're having human interaction. It's not a phone interaction and it's not a TV.
Yeah, true.
So at least you're being a little bit mindful, like, okay, you're eating, but you're having human conversations.
And I think this is very big for anyone, especially with Ramadan coming up. This might even be out when Ramadan is here, actually. But especially during those times when you're breaking your fast, I think that 30-minute period is so important. Like, not only for breaking, but obviously for prayer, for everything, what you eat, how you're present with it. I think this is so key for many people. Halas, no phones, no stimulations, be present and really take advantage of, when I say take advantage, really enjoy what is happening.
Exactly. Enjoy being with your family. Enjoy breaking your fast. Because fasting is not a simple thing. So you fasted for all these hours and then you come during breaking your fast and you're like, I want to eat. Like, no, be mindful. Enjoy it.
It's meant to be let's be honest, like a celebration, right? It's meant to be, the whole point is to go through what other people can't do. And like that other people who are suffering, you're meant to be going through that as well. And it's meant to be a blessing of what you're doing.
Exactly.
Not, oh my God, you gotta go.
Yeah, exactly.
I think being present will really help people holistically, whether that be religiously or just in general. I think for sure it'll be so good. And one thing that outside of this, not just with food, is there any other habits people should really break to improve their sleep? Because that's another thing here that is beyond terrible.
So let me be honest with you. Caffeine, I have a rule of caffeine after 12 is a no-no for me. But since it's a weekend,
okay.
Since it's a weekend, I'm okay with that. But during weekdays, I'm like, caffeine after 12 is a no-no for me. Things like people don't understand how food affects their life. So if you eat something with a lot of sugar at night, it's going to affect your sleep quality. If you drink caffeine, a lot of people say, I can drink caffeine and I can fall asleep. I'm like, yes, you will fall asleep. But are you going to go through that sleep cycle, that 5 sleep cycle steps? Are you going to go into that deep sleep or not? You probably won't, because caffeine attaches to your brain because hormones. So again, it's like these little things that we take advantage or we take for granted. Like, so what if I eat a piece of chocolate before I go to bed? No, it will make a difference. The other thing is your body, so before lights, it was day and night. So when night comes, we know that our bodies are now starting to get ready to fall asleep. So our body is accustomed to going into sleep. When you're in like lights the whole time, screens, lights, whatever, your body doesn't know that, oh, it's time to sleep. You need to prepare your body. So dim the lights at least an hour before. Be prepared to sleep so you can fall into a better sleep.
And I completely agree with this. I need work on the coffee situation as well. I'm addicted to caffeine, and I know that. I'm working on it a lot. I even said to myself, no coffee straight away in the morning and within an hour. That's my start, right? Don't get me wrong, it needs to get better. But I think as well, we live in a world where people hearing what we're saying about exercise, about food, about, meditation, about yoga, they're like, oh, this is so boring. I want to live. I want to enjoy life. It's not fair. Like, I want to go out on the weekend and enjoy time with my friends. And my opinion is, why not all of you as a friendship group or as a family change together? It's going to be a better lifestyle. But some people don't like to have that discussion. So what would you say to them of like, but I want to go out and enjoy life after work, and that's the way I socialize here in Saudi is by having coffee and sweet, and this is what we do.
That's just an excuse.
That's what I say.
That's just an excuse because I did it. Everybody around me did it. The people I go like hiking with on the weekends did it. People that we go running together did it. Like all these running groups, they did it. So that's just an excuse. Like, here's what I tell people. I'm like, listen, throughout this journey, this is your journey. Throughout this journey, you're going to lose people and you're going to gain people. So the people you lose who do not respect your new decisions and your new boundaries, these are not good people in your life. You know what? They can leave. It creates new space for someone else to come into my life that will support me, that will respect these boundaries.
I agree. And I think I even go a little bit differently with this slightly, is that some people are just meant to be in your life for a time when you need them. What I mean by that is you've got people that are for pleasure in terms of going out and socializing. You have people that you socialize in the gym with. You have people that you speak about business with and whatever. But sometimes people are just for certain areas. And I always give a great example of my friends back home. Love my friends back home. I go back all the time. They are very different in the way we live life. Like, they have jobs, they work very hard, but even when I was back home, I wouldn't be going to the pub and drinking, and I'd be like, no, I've got to focus on fitness. This was obviously a decade ago. And even now I'm in Saudi and I'm perfectly fine here, right? But some people, that's how they socialize, that's how they do things. And so I'm like, right, when I go back home, I'll go socialize, but it won't be the same way, but they just accept it, right? So it's either accepting it or getting over it.
Exactly.
And it's fine to have some people in your life for certain things, but realizing that sometimes your goal is going to take you somewhere else and you will meet new people along the way. And have you ever heard of Alex Hormozi?
Yeah, of course.
So I obviously love him. He said something, and I think it could have been him or Chris Williamson. It's one of these two. It was in that podcast I heard it. They said, when you're going from changing from who you are to who you want to be, there's a period in the middle where you feel lonely. And this is the choice you're going to have of continue growing and find your people, or go backwards and accept that you won't be that person. And this is what I think people struggle with their fitness journey, their mindfulness journey, their business journey, and just wanting to change. They want to please the people and be around the people here, but they're not willing to go with them on this journey. And it's okay because they're still going to be there. You can go back and visit them sometimes, but realize that this is where you want to be now. And I think that's a big lesson for me. And sometimes the road will be lonely, but you'll find people there that have the same goals as you of what you want. But
I think it's a big lesson for all of us.
Yeah.
I think we've all been through it.
But I think as well, some people still find it hard to let go because they attach who they are with those people. And the hardest part, it could even be family, is you don't need to let them go, but it's being like, you can't be surrounded by them 24/7 if they make you feel bad. You know? Boundaries.
Yeah. Boundaries are okay.
Yeah.
Boundaries are very okay. Like it's self-respect. It's a form of self-respect.
And what I love as well is that how we have this conversation, which is not what the podcast was planned for, but it's this holistic approach to mindfulness and mindset, which I love the most. And I think that's the first step on changing physically.
Yes. Because
if you don't change this, you won't change this. You know, it's definitely the way. And I think for many busy people out there that may want to get to what we're talking about, right? Is there any quick tips? I always love quick tips because it makes people feel good. Any quick tips for those busy professionals out there that want to start living a healthier lifestyle mentally and physically? Not necessarily go to the gym 5 days a week, not necessarily do therapy, but what are some things they could implement today, which could take 5 minutes, which could be a stepping stone to that next thing?
Drink water.
Yeah, okay.
Drink more water. Eat more protein. It will make a difference. They won't see it today, but they will see it down the road.
I love that. I'm so glad you said those two things. We don't drink enough water here, especially in Ramadan, by the way. It's the worst. So definitely make sure we go through that.
Everybody's dehydrated in Ramadan. That's why I do electrolytes in Ramadan.
Yes. And I know electrolytes is very trendy these days, but definitely I would even say break your fast with water and then an electrolyte drink. It will help a lot. And one thing is for sure, I believe that that's why one of the reasons towards the end of Ramadan, why we get more tired, it's because we're just slowly getting even more dehydrated, and our sleep has slowly got worse as well. But that's many things that can happen. And what are some common fitness trends you've seen in Saudi, whether that be holistically, whether that be physically, that you're just like, this is just wrong?
Do you want to get me started with this?
Look, I don't know how long we have.
The Pilates trend that's happening from 2025 to 2026. It's like every single person I see out there, she's doing Pilates and she thinks that she's going to get the Pilates body. There's no such thing as a Pilates body. That's number one. Number two, I've been to a lot of Pilates studios. I've tested a lot of studios here in Jeddah. I can just say like, no, this is like a one-way ticket to Injuryville.
Really?
No, because they're not even doing it right. They don't know how to control, because what is Pilates? Joseph Pilates called it contrology. It's how to control your movement. If you're not controlling the reformer, then what is the whole point? Like, what are you building? So, and then people think like Pilates is enough. She doesn't need strength training. I'm like, no, Pilates is not enough. It will never be enough.
Why is it so trendy then?
I don't know. I don't know. Is it because of that aloe matcha Pilates or something? I don't know. Like, I personally do Pilates. I do it once a week. And I got an insanely crazy core from it. And I love it. And my mobility is better. My flexibility is better. My core stability is better. A lot of things changed. And even when I do Pilates, I can lift better. I have better range of motion when I lift. Like, I can tap. Like, I never imagined it at all. Like, I can squat better now because I've always had problems with ankle dorsiflexion. Now it's better because of Pilates footwork. Yeah, so it's like, but I don't do the trendy type. I do classical Pilates of what Joseph Pilates taught us.
So I think as well, this happens so much in the fitness industry of something that is very beneficial and a trend comes along and it becomes huge. And I think a lot of women are finding another reason to maybe run away from strength training and looking at something that looks a little bit more, quote, sexy online because it's a reformer, there's no weights, even though there's some resistance there still if it's done properly, and going towards that.
But listen, in the end, if this is what she's going to do instead of sitting on the couch, go for it.
Yeah, true.
Go for it. Yeah,
It's better than not doing anything.
Exactly.
If it gets you started, but if you can get a balance of everything, do it.
Much better. Yes.
Is there any other trends outside of this that you're like, no, this is a no-go right now?
Personally, I know a lot of people are going to attack me. A lot of my friends, high rocks. Are you pro or with?
Look, I want to hear your opinion first.
Okay, so because most of my clients are above a certain age. So we are going through perimenopause and a lot of them are going through menopause. We don't need that added stress on our bodies with all the hormone changes. Okay, we do need jump training because of our bone density. We do need to do like interval hit training. Yes. We do need strength. Yes. But high rocks is just so demanding. It's like, no, I can't do this. I'm too tired. Especially with like all the hormone like craziness that we go through. So high rocks for women my age, I don't think it's a good thing personally. Unless you're someone who's been her entire life, she's been an athlete and she's used to it. But someone who just started her fitness journey or has a lot of stress in her life and wants to do high rocks, why would you do that to yourself? Why?
I have a different thought on that. I think it's fine for anyone to do if you just want to enjoy it and you don't see it as a race and you see it as movement and something fun. Okay? Hit a milestone. I don't like how it's become a trend of social media to look good a certain way. Like it's portrayed as this, it's going to make you look a certain way. But I do love what it's done for running. I love that it's got people into running and got people really trending that, because I think aerobic capacity, the health benefits of that is amazing. And I love that. Do I think that it's a trend that could die down? Yes. But it doesn't look like it the way it's going. I think it's going to be a race format that they want to keep forever. I don't think it's for everyone as well, but I do think it's going to be a thing that if you want to try it for one time and hit a milestone once, okay. But I don't think it is something you could train for forever. Think of it as a sport, right? You wouldn't get a 40, 50-year-old man or woman to try and be a professional football player, right?
Yeah.
So think of it like that. Think of it as High Rocks as you can do it once for fun. You want to train for that, no problem. But accept that this is going to be an achievement, not something that you can use as a lifestyle, I think.
So here's the misconception that a lot of people have here. They think that like High Rocks, calisthenics, these are things that they can use to train for longevity. And I'm like, no. You want longevity, lifestyle? Traditional strength, functional training.
What's your thoughts on CrossFit?
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
But to me, it's like High Rocks.
Okay.
I would do it just to try it out, test myself. But I personally, I wouldn't do it for longevity.
So obviously that's my background, right? But so my opinion is different. I think competition CrossFit is different to what CrossFit actually stands for. It is that strength and conditioning side, which I think everyone should be doing. Going to a CrossFit class, I think is going to be incredibly beneficial. And I think everyone should be doing stuff like that because it actually teaches you the basis of strength and conditioning. But you don't need to be doing high intensity. You can treat the conditioning side as like a movement focus, which I tell everyone to focus on. And don't think of it as like you are what you see on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. And I think that's the difference, and that's the problem with, quote, CrossFit. People see it as the games and the incredible stuff and the handstands and the muscle-ups. Treat it as, hey, look, like my nan and me can do the same CrossFit workout. It's just going to look a little bit different. I'll do an overhead squat. She's going to be sitting on the couch and standing up, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what we try and focus on. And I think whereas High Rocks and all these other things don't have that scalability level, right? And I think that's the difference.
But the thing is with CrossFit here, they still don't scale it. Like a woman, again, we've never worked out. So me walking into a CrossFit gym saying, all right, today we're going to do 100 pull-ups. I'm like, what? My body's not even ready to do one.
Yeah.
You want me to do 100?
Yeah.
Like, even if you want me to do a dead hang.
Yeah.
I haven't done it in my life. Like, how do you expect me to do a dead hang? So here's my point is like, even like I have a lot of people that go to CrossFit. She's like, I want to do CrossFit. I'm like, go, you're ready. You have the foundations, you have the basics, you have the core stability, go. But someone who has never worked out in her life and she goes into CrossFit,
See, and I think that's the issue in terms of coaching in gyms. Because I think it shouldn't be, you can only do this when you're ready. It should be something that you can do this whenever, and it's the coach's job to be accepting. And I think that's a skill issue, not a skill issue of a coach, not a skill issue of a person.
I agree.
Look, honestly, this podcast was not what I expected in terms of conversations, but I love that we've really spoke about a holistic approach, mental health, physical health, and really coming together. And I think so many people could take so much advice on getting started, transition from injury into the gym again, but most importantly, where to just go for themselves and really get going in terms of just building a healthier lifestyle. The way we end any podcast is quick fire questions.
Okay.
And it's never quick fire, but we try our absolute best.
Okay.
If you had to choose one, mobility or strength,
Strength.
what is your favorite cheat meal?
Burger.
Do you have it often?
No.
Okay, good. I
I
love
haven't
it.
had a burger in a month.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, you've got to choose something different. What is the worst fitness trend at the moment? You can't say Pilates.
I said High Rocks. Fitness trend. Oh. What am I seeing on social media? Mobility in terms of how people portray it.
They think it's like just stretching or something.
Yeah.
100%. It's very different.
Yeah.
What is your favorite exercise in the gym for you personally?
In the gym?
Yeah. In the gym, yoga, whatever.
That's a tough question.
That was the hardest question of today.
That's a tough question. I love doing step-ups.
Okay. I hate them so much because I'm short. It's okay.
I'm short.
Yeah, but for a guy, I'm really short, you know. What is one quote you live by?
It's not a quote. I can say it's an affirmation. I am enough.
I've heard that before and I love that. I love someone else come on and said that, and I think it's that reassurance of who you truly are. I love it. And what is one takeaway for anyone watching or listening that they should truly just have this one big takeaway you're about to say from the whole podcast?
It's never too late. You can always start. You can always reverse where you are. Like, don't think because you're like 60 years old, you can't. No, it's never too late. I've worked with a lot of different age groups. It's never too late.
Oh, I love that. And that's a great way to finish, Baraa. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much,
Obviously, all your socials will be down below. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, absolutely everything. And this is episode 30. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Guys, subscribe. See you next time.